Hello everyone, welcome back to Community Distance Reiki. This is Danielle from Learn Reiki Philadelphia, and it is wonderful to see you all this afternoon. If you are new here, welcome in. Go ahead and click that live chat button. Feel free to introduce yourself and make any requests that you happen to have for your well-being. We're going to start things off by building a beautiful crystal grid together, exactly to the request of everyone here in the live chat. If you are returning, welcome back. It's so good to see you again. If you're watching this on the replay, you can, if you want, skip ahead to the music and healing portion. It usually starts at about the 1 hour point, or where you see the lights begin to dip down. If you'd like to learn more about me, my live online Reiki certification courses, one-on-one readings and distance sessions, crystal shop, and so much more, go ahead and check out the links in the description or visit learnreikiphiladelphia.com. So let's go ahead and see what some of the requests are and take a peek at our grid for today. Awesome. Yes, happy International Women's Day. It's also People with Disability Awareness Month in the US. I'm a woman-owned business. I am disabled. There's all kinds of good stuff going on. So for International Women's Day, I did start us off with a big old piece of Moonstone. Connects with the Divine Feminine. I also have a mirror in the center with a little bit of a fog covering on it. That helps to deflect any negative energy. And this copper spiral helps to break up any blockages and get the energy flowing optimally. So let's see what our requests are and say hi to everybody. So Jen, Hart, Brindley, welcome back. Heidi, welcome in. Cora Carr, Chris, Fiat Luna, Belinda. Oh, so good to see you all. Awesome. Absolutely lots of great intentions. Okay, so let's start from the top. Circadian rhythms, divine feminine empowerment because it's International Women's Day. Absolutely. We're thinking along the same tracks here. Red coral, black tourmaline, and kyanite. Absolutely. And yeah, let's do red coral, black tourmaline, and kyanite. So black tourmaline is sort of a favorite of mine. It also helps to keep energy that is not in your highest good at bay. It is wonderful for anyone who is empathic, or if you're in any kind of environment where energy tends to be a bit sticky. If people tend to have really poor boundaries, their energy tends to do the same thing as the individual does. So this is a really good stone for that. I'm going to go ahead and bring in this black tourmaline, keep some not great things away. Put that outside the circle there. We have red coral, which is a really powerful stone that is just great for kind of derailing misogyny. It is very uplifting and empowering and protective of women, especially when they are seen as second or less than or need to be relegated just for being women. So this is a superb choice, especially on International Women's Day. We also have blue kyanite, which helps us to better hear wisdom of the divine, as well as accept ourselves unconditionally, and can aid with speech and mobility if they are linked to a neurological cause. So here is some blue kyanite. Let's go ahead and put these here. Okay, awesome. Good to see you, Jen, and circadian rhythm and sleeping better. Let's bring in some Iolite. This can definitely help with sleep and sleep disturbances. It's also fantastic for weight loss if that's an intention that anyone has, as well as shamanic work. So that's psychopomp work or visionary meditation work. Also can be good for money management if that's something you're working on. So there's Iolite. Okay. Let's bring in some labradorite too. That also helps with sleep. It can also calm disputes. It's like a good customer service stone too. I still don't think it's as powerful as aquamarine for that, but it is kind of helpful. It's great for any kind of detailed work. I often give this as a stone to friends of mine that work in like coding or data science or anything that's very, very detailed. Also really great for finding errors, like needle in a haystack type work. Clairvoyance, so again, seeing intuitively, and taking joy in travel. So yeah, a good one for sleep as well. So we'll bring that in. And that can also be really helpful for anyone that's looking for help with intuition. Thank you. Oh, I can't wait to see a picture of that black kyanite and red coral grid. That sounds awesome. Oh, Chris, we will definitely put some love and light out there for you. And Tina, welcome in. Oh, nearly bedtime for you. Wow, yeah, Leeds, UK. Definitely have some things to help you feel better. So I will bring in some moss agate for you. And just a heads up for all of our international viewers, we love having you. Sunday starts our spring time jump. We go ahead 1 hour starting Sunday at 2 a.m. our time. So just a heads up on that. I'll put some more heads up in channel reminders and things, but sorry about that. I think some folks in Europe will change pretty soon too, but just wanted to let you know. Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, let's definitely bring in some moss agate. This helps with any kind of infectious illness, particularly virus, bacteria, anything like that. It's thought in Chinese medicine to help anything that has wind, which is anything that's spreading quickly throughout the body. It also helps with fears of the unknown, doing any kind of part work like inner child work, higher self work, connection to spirit, and connection to nature. So it can be really helpful for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere who are struggling without a lot of green right now. So we'll go ahead and we'll bring in that moss agate. I hope you get a good night's rest and feel better for sure. Thank you for being here. Hey, Vincent, good to see you too. Okay, I will get to everyone's request today. Let's see. Thank you and welcome in, Unresolved Karma Tarot. It's good to see you. Let's see. Fuchsite again. Okay, we got that. Fuchsite, we learned the other day, it helps to boost the power of other stones. And it's also great for taking some time for self-care, especially finding joy in the more mundane aspects of life, making time for fun, which is something I totally struggle with. I'm a Capricorn sun and an Aries rising. Also really great for just things like sleep disturbances too, so that's definitely a factor today for a few of you, and supportive of folks that are healing carpal tunnel. So there we go. Lots of good stuff about this stone. So we will go ahead and bring this in. Cool. And good to see you, Belinda. Zoisite green kyanite. I love that combo. So zoisite can also help us with seasonal affective issues in that it tends to be very connected to the nature, the green elements, and things like that. So it can be really, really helpful for those of us who are lacking that right now. It also helps things like apathy and sluggishness. If you feel like you're kind of dragging your feet, it can help release negativity, and it also helps us to face challenges and setbacks head on so that we can deal with them, get them out of our way, and continue on our purpose. So it's good for anyone who's dealing with any kind of like procrastination or fear of standing up for things. Also can be really helpful for bowels if you've got any issues there. So zoisite. Let's see. And green kyanite. Green kyanite is a very spiritual stone. It also helps the throat, the lungs, the chest, the heart, asthma, all that kind of stuff. So definitely good for a few of your requests today. But this is one that helps us to blend and balance our like mundane human life with our spiritual practices. So bringing those into harmony, being able to celebrate those practices in more of our day-to-day routine. It also helps with wisdom through intuition and again, connection with plants and nature spirits. So yeah, green kyanite, good call. Let's put that near the blue kyanite. Or actually, no, let's put it here. Near the zoisite and the fuchsite. There we go. Awesome, good to see you. And yeah, the cat friends are doing well. The clocks in the UK go forward on the 26th of March. Yeah, we're the 16th, so it looks like it's I think it's the 16th it is. In any case, it's this Sunday. So yeah, it looks like we're like a week apart or so. Or maybe up to 2 weeks apart. Yeah. Aventurine for heart healing. You got it. Yeah, it's always this time of year and then again in the fall when all the clocks change in all the countries at different times. Let's see. Okay, we've got this. And heart, let me know when you're back. If you can. If not, I'll pick your stones anyway. Anxiety related to family interaction. Absolutely. I'm going to go ahead and do that along with Heart's request. Let's do carnelian, mahogany. I'll do those together. And let's see. Aventurine for heart. And I know in case anyone comes in with request for help for eyes, aventurine is great too. Ooh, I got some stones mixed in here. Hang on. Yeah, aventurine is great for the heart and heart rhythms, but also the eyes on a physical level. On a spiritual level, it helps to warm our heart and remind us that we are capable of more than we think we are. So this can help us to gently expand what we feel is the limits of our potential. It also helps with things like fertility and learning, especially if you're learning something that's new or learning later in life. So aventurine, green aventurine specifically. Lots of green so far. I love it. Yeah, indeed. Happy Wednesday. So let's see. We had some requests for... Let's do Korakar's requests. So we will do some Herkimer. Some citrine and pyrite, some prehnite for Vincent. Okay, and we'll start there. So Okay, so pre-night, definitely for Vincent, this definitely helps with understanding and kind of assimilating spiritual teachings, also helps with imparting those spiritual teachings. So if you are the one teaching, this can be really helpful. It can also help with really anything that involves divination, whether you're reading cards, whether you are reading tea leaves, whether you're doing astrology, whatever the case may be, it can really help with getting that understanding and those messages through. It's also wonderful for meditation or any kind of meditative type work. If you find that your mind is wandering, this can be a really helpful stone. It's also great for those who have a hard time saying no to unfair demands. It can really help kind of strengthen your heart a little bit to say, no, I'm not doing that. So this is pre-night, Prehnite, pre-night. So let's do that here and here. Okay. Herkimer diamond, which is a type of clear quartz. I often use this when I am manifesting, and I want what I'm manifesting to reflect well and impact well everyone that it touches. So Herkimer diamond is also one that helps to harmonize energy, especially between people. So this can definitely be for like, it's an overlap to what I'm going to use for family disharmony that a couple of you have requested help with. It also helps with psychic ability, with metabolism, with being in the present moment, which is so important, especially if we're asking the universe for something towards our next steps. So we'll bring this in and we'll keep Susan and Greg in our minds when we do that, our regulars who can't always be here but often like to be. Let's go ahead and put these in here. Let's do actually that. There we go. Hey, Patty and Key, good to see you both. What would you like today? Korakar had a request for financial abundance, especially for her mom, and I think that we can all agree that financial abundance is a great thing. So let's bring in citrine and pyrite. Let's start with pyrite. This is also helpful for opening up to intuition while being protective of the person that is opening up. We've got support for brain and memory, and in general, calling upon financial abundance. I like to think fool's gold, which this is. Fool's gold attracts the real gold, so pyrite for sure. Let's go ahead and bring that in. And feel free, those of you that are just popping in, go ahead and make any request for your personal healing. I'm happy to put them in the grid. And at about 5 o'clock, we're going to transition into the music and chilling out and me sending you Reiki. So glad to have you all here today building this grid together. Next is citrine, which is kind of like the more modern abundance stone. It's this beautiful brownish orange that I absolutely adore. It's actually what happens underground when amethyst is subjected to more heat and pressure than normal. It turns into citrine, which is, like I said, this orangey, brownish kind of deep color, and it helps to attract financial abundance and also just resource security. So roof over your head, food on the table, the stuff we need. The stuff we need. This is also great for balancing logic and intuition. So we're just going to go ahead and man overboard. Okay, let's see. We'll go ahead and we'll place a few in the center. And we'll place a few around the edges. So there we go with citrine. And okay, Gotcha. Cardio health too. So we got that. So aventurine helps with cardio health. Let's also do kind of want to bring in some tourmalinated quartz. So we talked about black tourmaline repelling and breaking up less than great energy, keeping it out of our energy field. When black tourmaline finds itself kind of going through or forming through clear quartz, or clear quartz forming around them, we have tourmalinated quartz. And tourmalinated quartz can be lots of different types of quartz. I have tourmalinated smoky quartz, for example, but this is clear. And this is just a superb choice for breaking up energy, for grounding and releasing nervous energy particularly, but it's also great for just breaking things up in general. It's thought of as a breaking up scar tissue stone, and that's talking about physically. The intentions are that its energy would help break up scar tissue on the skin or in the body, but also energetically, it could help us break that up emotionally. So it can break up emotional scar tissue or just stuck energy in general. It's also great for good fortune and finding new streams of revenue, a new gig, a new side job, or just a new job in general. It's also thought to help support cardiac health and break up childhood patterns that, like, not healthy patterns that keep reappearing in your life. It's also thought to be good for protecting people who are traveling, particularly by car. So let's go ahead and bring this in. Absolutely love that. Hey, blue sky. Digestive health, movement. Green onyx, black onyx, and jet. Joint knees in particular. Iolite. Black onyx, green onyx, jet. You got it. Tree agate, lapis, petrified wood, red tiger eye. Celestite, chevron amethyst, emerald, petrified wood. Absolutely, we'll add all those in for you, blue sky. Key needs help with digestive health, movement. Gotcha. Zoisite is really helpful for that, but there's also some other stones that can be really helpful for that too. And let me make sure. We want to get everything Chris requested too. Since we just did a stone that involved black tourmaline, why don't we dive right into Dalmatian jasper? This will definitely help digestive health. This is one that it also helps cooperation. So for those with family stuff, which I'm going to go into in a moment, this can also be really helpful, but also work environments too, any group of people. This helps with digestive disorders, IBS, Crohn's, things like that. This is actually black tourmaline that has been surrounded by jasper. So this helps to basically clear our energy fields as well. So it's a wonderful energy clearing stone. You can carry it with you. You can keep it around you when you're doing an energy healing session or meditating or just trying to clear off the energy of the day. It's also great for it's like an anti-cynicism kind of stone. So let's go ahead and bring this in. And for the help with family stuff, first of all, we have carnelian, which definitely will help with the relationship between people. It is just all about that. The sacral chakra is all about how we relate to others, relationships, whether they're romantic or otherwise, as well as creativity, sex, sexuality, procreation, fertility, all those things, but also just how we relate to other people. The solar plexus is above it, and that's our sense of self, our personal identity, and our sense of will. The sacral is where we get along with one another and form community. So from the most elemental to the most complex relationships with others, they all really reflect in carnelian. This can be very, very helpful for that. It can help with also attracting a mate if you're looking for love. It can also help with healing wounds as well as cold and allergies. So that's carnelian. Additionally, for family stuff, we have mahogany obsidian. This can help with a lot of different dynamics that can appear in families, but not always. This is one that helps to release perfectionism, as well as helps us to meet goals. It's one that gives us a lot of vital energy and can also help us with letting go of the need for approval, letting go of the need to have our work honored in some way, and allows us to feel like a done something is better than a perfect nothing, but also that we are valid very much within our own selves, and we don't need work validated in order to feel valid. So this is also good for teeth and gums, as well as carpal tunnel syndrome. So that's mahogany obsidian. Let's see. And I think those will help. We have some other ones that can be helpful too. Hey Maria, good to see you. Thank you, Unresolved Karma. I appreciate that. Stones for pregnancy. Absolutely. Hey! Oh good, heart's back. Okay, I just did yours that relate to you. Heavy, heavy releasing and healing. I'm sorry to hear that. Let us know how we can help. Yeah. Let us know how we can help. I definitely can bring in some good loving healing energy stones for you. Let's dive into what I have lined up for right now. Let's start with lapis, pain, inflammation, but also integrity. This is the, as my friend Janie would say, the talk to do ratio. This is also career improvement, truth, honesty, living up to what you said you'd do, being honest if you can't live up to it. It also aids with things like disorganization, taking responsibility for yourself, and it helps with the inner ear, whether it's something like a vertigo and balance related or hearing loss. Telling the truth, boundaries, assertiveness, growth. Absolutely, I can help with that. Okay, so let's put this lapis out. Lapis also helps with attracting people who are also in their integrity. So I often, especially because it's connected with career advancement, I often recommend it to folks that are looking for upward mobility in their career. Snowflake obsidian, you got it. All right, so before I dive into everything that everybody's requested that I've pulled, let's go ahead and do some blue tiger eye. This is definitely truth-telling, assertiveness, also public speaking too, and writing, but facts over feelings. This is the way that it is. I know you don't want to hear it, but this is what it is. It's definitely a protector of truth tellers. It's often considered like a whistleblower stone for that. It also helps to calm and ease stress, but it's good for bold communication. So, yeah. It's blue tiger eye. Very protective too. Okay. We have red tiger eye is highly protective. And this is whether it's mundane bullying, triangulation, toxic work environment, even toxic family, but also really nasty spiritual work, whichever the case might be in your scenario. It's probably the most protective stone I have, red tiger eye. It's also good for calling on quick financial resources if needed. So yeah, this can help. That can help with some of the family stuff too. Chris had requested peridot, and that is good for breaking up bad cycles and habits. It also helps with weight gain, with, if you want to lose weight or just stem the gain of it. It also helps with IBS, Crohn's, things like that, any kind of digestive upset, and with fostering the really good friendships in our lives. So there's peridot. Go. Jet is superb for grief. It is a type of petrified wood that's been petrified very quickly, usually through volcanic activity. And it's one that allows us to be in our grief in a way that we can effectively process it, not so much that we're overwhelmed by it. So yeah, that's jet. You can also call upon lost animals, which I know is the case for someone here. Next, we have emerald, which helps with healing skin and tissue, and also with reigniting our love for life and our zest for life. It's one that's often aligned with success and for overcoming any insecurities about your appearance, especially for folks who've been bullied about that in the past. So this is emerald. Chevron amethyst can help with our connection to the divine and asking for guidance and support from spirit. And then also with hearing any response and being able to act upon it. It's very much linked with journeying, like shamanic work, channeling, any kind of visionary meditation work as well. So that's chevron amethyst. There we go. Celestite helps us to connect to our angels. This can help us to better assess and feel aligned with our soul's mission and soul's purpose. Very much connected with the crown and soul star chakra centers above the head. Also helps with discerning thoughts from fears, and helps with all manner of physical pain, in that it helps us to focus and be a little bit more aligned with our spiritual body, which really just improves our physical experience while in pain. But yeah, anytime you want to connect with your angels, celestite's a beautiful stone to do that with. And angels in general can be wonderful allies when trying to find our path to our soul's purpose. Go. Green onyx, which often will be like more of a pistachio color, but these were mined quite some time ago. So they are actually quite dark green, which is a little bit harder to find these days. So this is excellent for grief, sadness, and even really intense sadness and depression, like to the point where there's just emotional shutdown. It's great for moving forward despite a lot of emotional pain, and it's extremely supportive of the heart, especially the most broken of hearts. So that's green onyx. Black onyx is great for protection, also for moving through grief, and for connecting with ancestors. This is a stone that can help us to feel the love and support of our ancestors in a really palpable way. And for those who are engaged in more intuitive arts and channeling, this can also help with feeling that connection specifically to your ancestors. So there you go, that's black onyx. But yeah, can also help one with grief and mourning and feeling still a connection to those you've lost. There we go. And keeping any negative energy at bay. Iolite is superb for joints, and I know there was a request about knees specifically. And yeah, Iolite is great for the joints, whether it's dislocations or just achy joints, injured joints, but the bones in general too. Whether it's osteoporosis or if you have bone density issues like I do, calcium absorption issues like I do, can be very, very helpful for that. It's very much aligned with teeth, gums, and hair in terms of physical stuff, but also on a more emotional side, anger and resentment and frustration. This can help us to see what the root causes are so they can kind of be dealt with, but also diffuses the immediate volatility of those emotions. So white Iolite. Snowflake Obsidian can help with guilt and moving through that and releasing it, as well as any kind of unhelpful patterns that we find ourselves in, to recognize them and start to find new ways of moving through challenges. It helps to calm overstimulation. It helps to balance the mind, spirit, and body connection. Great for just inner peace in general, optimism after loss, and clairaudience, which is hearing intuition. So yeah, love this. Serenity, peace. It's a wonderful, loving stone. It also helps us to do some shadow work, looking within ourselves to see what we can improve to make things better for ourselves. So let's go ahead and put Snowflake Obsidian right there. And right here. There we go. Yeah, right. All of it. All the good stuff. Let's see. Yeah, tranquility, self-care, fuchsite, fuchsite will be helpful for that. This is definitely reminding ourselves to take time for ourselves, but also having fun and joy in play. So that's helpful. We had a request for, let's see. Petrified wood, which really helps us to move through really difficult change. Unlike the jet, which is very quickly fossilized through something like intense heat, fossilized wood usually is a tree that had to die as a tree before it could begin the long process of slowly turning to stone. And then in this particular piece that I have here, this specimen, you can actually see where there are some crystals popping up. You can just see them flicking like a little bit of glitter there. Yep. Those are just new baby crystals forming inside of what used to be a tree that is now a stone. So yeah, helps us to move through really difficult change and see that sometimes it's like the death card in the tarot. We see death has the flag with the white flower. That white flower appears on the Fool. The Fool is either carrying it or it's in his pocket, that same white flower. So yeah, out of endings come beginnings, and that's very much what this stone reminds us. So this piece of Moonstone is here because it is International Women's Day, and that connects us to the Divine Feminine. I'm also going to bring this in. And then we have tree agate, which this is sacred in Ayurveda. It helps to clear all of the different energy channels. So when we think of the chakras, those are the bigger energy points we see in the Ayurvedic system. Nadi, or N-A-D-I is how it's spelled in English, are basically like almost like the tiny little capillary versions of those that like spread the energy throughout our body. And it's thought that no matter what body type we have or what imbalances might be going on or what blockages we might have, this is a stone that can help get that energy moving optimally. So tree agate can help our health no matter what. And let's see what else. I know Chris had some requests, so let's make sure that I get those. There we go. Let's get as many as we can. So let's do sapphire. We got moonstone, we got carnelian, rose quartz, Caribbean calcite. We got Herkimer. We don't have rutilated. Let's use this rutilated one that I don't often use. Rutilated quartz, and I'll show you another specimen. It's in here. There are teeny tiny, what looks like little silver hairs, and those are rutils. Those help to focus the way that energy is sent, and that's thought to help aid the focus of treatments, whether it's energetic or modern, to exactly what needs the help most. So it's thought of as a beautiful gift for folks who are going through cancer treatments. It's also really helpful for energizing, which is also really helpful for people going through cancer treatments. It also helps to focus the mind, and it aids the mind-body connection. So I'm going to go ahead and put this here. This one was a gift from a student, a Reiki student. Next is sapphire, which is helpful for really clairvoyance, especially with channeling. If you want to connect to spirit, this will help intensify that connection, but also aid us in explaining what messages we may have gotten if we're getting messages on part of someone else. So it's a very potent clairvoyant stone, a very potent intuition stone. I definitely recommend having some kind of grounding practice if you work with sapphire. Okay. There's also, we have Iolite already. Iolite also helps with weight loss and weight gain. We have blue Kyanite. Rose quartz we'll bring in. And hematite. Rose quartz. Rose quartz is this consistent, loving pink, and we can definitely see how pink my skin is. We see rose quartz on top of it. But yeah, rose quartz helps us to let go of energy that no longer serves, because it reminds us that there are absolutely consistently loving and uplifting energies at play that can support us as we let go of what no longer serves. So we'll bring this in, we'll put that opposite the rutilated. Aragonite with Caribbean blue calcite. This aids with, basically this is two forms of calcite, and the brown, the aragonite, aids with our earth star chakra and our root. Our earth star chakra is beneath the root, so it's lower on our energy field, and that has to do with actually showing up and enacting our soul's purpose. So that's showing up, going around, meeting people, doing the things that you need to do to take your life's purpose and make it actionable. The blue is aligned with our soul star and crown, and our soul star is above the crown, above the head, the opposite end of the energy field. That has to do with our intuitive awareness of our soul's purpose, knowing where we need to go, who we need to connect with, having that like sense of, I don't know why, but I know. That's what this is all about. So being that this is balancing those two opposite energy centers, it balances everything in between, including the kundalini, which lays dormant at the base of the spine, but it also helps us to understand and act upon our soul's purpose. So we'll bring some of this into, bring a piece here, and let's see, we had a request from Chris for Aqua Aura. This one has been really supportive of a lot of us who struggle with things like depression, me among them, with seasonal affective disorder for sure. It's definitely a man-altered stone. This is clear quartz that was altered using gold in a man-made process. Of course, for every single thing that's here, do what you need to do to take care of yourself. I take the meds, I do the everything else, including the Reiki, the meditation, and working with crystals for what I need. And this is definitely one of the helpers that I use. So we'll bring this in, and let's see what else. Oh, and hematite. Hematite is very grounding. It helps us to release energy that no longer serves, even on the most physical of levels. It's in many Eastern philosophies, the energy that we no longer need, that our body no longer really needs, is released through the feet and into the earth. This helps facilitate that. If you were sitting on the earth and asking the earth to help purify us, this is a stone that can really connect with that. There's a high iron content, and as such, it's often referred to as hematite, hema meaning blood. And it was thought to energetically purify the blood even as far back as biblical times. We see it written about there. But yeah, very heavy and can help us to physically ground, clearing energy we no longer need and connecting with the earth. So we'll bring this in. Let's bring in a piece here to balance us out. So we have rose, we have the calcites, rutilated, herkimer, and then I'm going to bring some more herkimer around the outsides too. Oop. There we go. And I think, yeah, everyone's requests are so aligned today. So I'm going to take one peek back. Protection for Heidi. Definitely red tiger eye and black tourmaline. Okay. Let's see. And for boundaries too, let's see. I'm going to just put some honey calcite around too. Honey calcite helps with balancing the sacral and solar plexus chakras. So it's how we relate to others, but also honoring ourselves. Can also be great for optimism in challenging times. and to find colleagues, loved ones, friends, and even love interests that are in good balance and good harmony with us. So yeah, we'll bring that in. Put that here and here. So I think we're at that point where I'm going to go through and pick a couple of stones that I think harmonize with everyone's request. And Heidi, let's see. Heart and weight loss. Definitely weight loss, peridot, iolite. Heart is aventurine and tourmalinated. Okay, making sure I get everybody's requests. Yeah, I'm going to pick a couple of stones that I feel could help us and touch on all of our requests to some extent, and really just sort of harmonize all of these requests. And W, it's great to see you. How do I remember all of this? Over and over again, repetition. And honestly, you know what helps? Crib notes. Crib notes. For some of the things that I forget about for different stones, this is how I store them all. I basically have I made places where I can reach my stones, and there's different basically ways for me to see, like the stones are all kept in like file drawers I've created in these bags, and I've written different high points on them. So yeah, that's how I remember. But yeah, I'm going to pick a couple stones I think would support us all. All of you are going to vote. At the same time, when you're voting, know that you're not limited to just one vote, in case you happen to be new. Cora Carr has already kind of shown how we handle that. If you need to use the loo, now is a great time, because after we vote on this stone, we are going to transition into the Reiki healing. And while you all are voting, I'm going to quickly explain what Reiki is, a little of how it works, and what to expect. So let's see. So here's what I got. Okay. Especially for those of you with family stuff and with relationship stuff going on. Blue lace agate. This helps with expressing difficult emotions. And that's whether they're difficult for you to speak or difficult for the other person to hear. It helps to soften those communications. It can also help support anything going on with your throat. So that's allergies, sore throat, anything like that. And it's also thought to have a positive effect on the skeletal system. So that's blue lace agate. The other is bumblebee jasper, which helps with the solar plexus and also with giving us tons of energy, helping us feel like we can stand on our own 2 feet and speak our piece. And yeah, but very energizing in general. So bumblebee jasper. This has a high content of sulfur as well as arsenic. So careful, no direct water infusions here. But yeah, so go ahead and vote on those. While you're doing that, please go ahead and like the stream. It helps people to discover me. And I'm going to quickly explain what Reiki is about, and then we're going to get into the healing. So thanks so much for being here. Again, my name is Danielle Stimpson, and I'm the owner of Learn Reiki Philadelphia. If you want to learn more about live online Reiki certification courses, one-on-one healing sessions with Reiki and IET, tarot readings, or my crystal shop, visit learnreikiphiladelphia.com or check out the links in the description. The style of Reiki I work with most is known as Usui Reiki, and it's named after this particular system's founder, Mikao Usui, and he created this practice in early 1920s Japan at a time when religious freedom was not a thing, imperialism was, and it needed to be very spiritual, but also very secular. And that's, I feel like, a big reason why it resonates with us in the West. The concept of just what the energy is really comes to us from Shintoism, which is the indigenous spirituality of Japan, in which everything and everyone has a soul, and all of those souls are interconnected. Within that interconnectivity, there are additional energies at play, one of which is a spiritually guided soul energy or life energy, and that's roughly what Reiki translates to in English. This energy is already a part of you and me and everyone and everything, whether or not we acknowledge its existence and being there. Our body, mind, and spirit are working with it all the time. And today, essentially what I'll be doing is using Usui's practice techniques to connect to that energy and direct more of it to you whenever and wherever you happen to be. So what do you need to do on your end to receive it? Nothing. I suggest that you get as comfy as you possibly can. You can lay down, sit up, close your eyes, leave your eyes open. You can also use this time to take a few gentle stretches or journal or write music or whatever feels right to you. If you do choose to just sort of relax and lay back, if you feel like you're going to take a nap, great. Go ahead and do exactly that. During the session, you may feel physical sensations in your body. You may feel emotions rise up or be released. Mentally, you may have your subconscious come up, or you may have a space to kind of think some things through that you've been having difficulty processing recently. You may also, on a spiritual level, get some divine guidance or wisdom or ideas that are just beautiful and seemingly lovely. It'll probably be some combination of all of those things. So what I suggest is that you simply enjoy the time that you have here. You don't have to focus on anything. You don't have to keep your mind silent. Simply be. If you're not sure if your mind is running away from you or if it's just your mental part of your life kind of parsing itself out, I recommend taking a deep breath in and out at your own pace to help you kind of recalibrate and readjust. At the end of the 25-minute session, you'll hear my voice come in, and I'll invite you to take a couple of deep breaths, start to come back to your body, and then reopen the chat so you can ask any questions you have or share any experiences that you may have had. During the session, if you find yourself sort of having a mind wander and you're not sure if you're in a dreamlike state or what have you, sounds great. That's honestly very common. During the session, I will be playing music. If you enjoy it, the content creator who developed that music, she's listed at the bottom of the description. I'll also have the lights moving slowly and gently through several different colors. At no point will they flash or strobe. And all you need to do is just be. This time is for you to enjoy as you want to enjoy it for self-care purposes. And if you are watching this in the future and you are here and wondering, how does this help me in the future? Well, just as we are all interconnected, it doesn't matter where we are in relation to each other. It also doesn't matter when we are. So even if you're here live, if you want to get some healing and I'm not live, go ahead and enjoy past healing live stream. You can always skip ahead to the healing or enjoy the hanging out and building of the grid. But thank you all so very, very much for being here. I love having you all here. I'm here live 5 times a week, same days, same times, all listed in the description, and you can subscribe with your notifications on so you don't miss an opportunity. So without any further ado, let's dive into the healing and see what won that vote. Gee, I wonder. Ooh, that's pretty. You're ready to be the calm in your own storm. I love that. Nurse Blair, welcome in. Oh, yeah, there's 24 people watching and one like. Yes, if everybody could click that like button, that super helps. I'm trying to grow the channel to 1,000 people, which is just seems so foreign to when I started this as just like a natural growth from being on Zoom. But once we hit 1,000, there's a lot more we can do as a community, as you know, using this YouTube resource. So thank you so much. We're over 670 subscribers. That's huge. Thank you. And thank you for the reminders. Yeah, and Nurse Blair, we're just glad that you're here. So everybody go ahead, get comfortable, and we are going to go ahead. I'm going to send you Reiki until right about just before 5:30. So enjoy your healing sessions, and I will see you then. I invite you now to take a deep breath in and out. Slowly start to come back to your body. Move your fingers and toes. Thank you so much for being here today. It's an honor to share Reiki with all of you. To everyone here that made any requests, thank you so much for helping inspire this beautiful grid. And to anyone who's new, you are always welcome back. Oh, thank you, Heidi. I really appreciate that. Thank you, W. Yeah, our channel is too small yet for like super chats or anything like that, but the links to PayPal and Venmo and all that are in the description. But honestly, just having you all here really means the world. Thank you all so much. Heart, Vincent, W, Heidi, Grace, Jen, thank you, and you're welcome, you're welcome. I will be back Friday at both 4 and 8 p.m. as usual, and Sunday at 8 p.m. And of course, I always do pop-up streams if there's like a big world event or a big astrological event or some kind of need to pop on. So if you want to be first to know about those, go ahead and subscribe with your notifications on. Lots of love between everybody here. I love this group. It's like lightning in a bottle. You're so welcome, Unresolved Karma Tarot. You're welcome, Maria. All the best to you for sure. All the best. And I'm going to start winding things down here because I need to go teach my Reiki 1 class. Okay, so yeah, I'll end it here. Abundance of gratitude to every single person here. Thank you so much for the likes, for the kind words, for being kind to one another, and for helping inspire this beautiful grid. I do hope to see you again soon. Don't forget to take care of yourselves, and bye for now.